The next question was how the synthesis of RNA upon DNA template takes place. As mRNA was being discovered, the first of the enzymes that synthesize or transcribe RNA using DNA templates was being independently isolated in the labs of biochemists Gerard Hurwitz and Samuel B. Wiss. So, the enzymes used for the synthesis of mRNA were discovered. These enzymes, called RNA polymerases, function only in the presence of DNA, which serves as the template upon which single-stranded RNA chains are made, and use of the nucleotides ATP, GTP, CTP and UTP as precursors. So these nucleotides are used as precursors, and the synthesis of mRNA strand takes place on the DNA. These enzymes make RNA using appropriate segments of chromosomal DNA as their templates. Direct evidence that DNA lines up the correct ribonucleotide precursors came from seeing how the RNA base composition varied with addition of DNA molecules of different ATGC ratios. So if we add DNA which has different ATGC ratios, and then we allow the DNA to synthesize mRNA, and if we observe, analyze the mRNA, we would find that this ATGC ratio of DNA will correspond to the AUGC ratio of RNA. In every enzymatic synthesis, the RNA AUGC ratio was roughly similar to DNA's ATGC ratio. So, as the amount of ATGC present in DNA, the same amount of AUGC was present in RNA. During transcription, only one of the two strands of DNA is used as a template to make RNA. You know, DNA is double-stranded. So, which strand will act as a template for the synthesis of RNA? Because both strands cannot act as template for the synthesis of RNA. Only one strand is acting as template. This makes sense because the messenger messages carried by two DNA strands being complementary but not identical. The two strands are complementary, but they are not identical. Rather, they are opposite. So, if these both strands are used for the synthesis of mRNA, the both strands will give very different and opposite information to the mRNA strand, and these result into very different polypeptides. The synthesis of RNA always proceeds in a fixed direction. That direction begins at the 5' end and conclude with the 3' end nucleotide. So this is from 5' to 3'. In this picture you can see this is double-stranded DNA. So from here it unwinds and makes a loop, and inside this loop this is the newly synthesized mRNA molecule. So bases are added and new bases will be added here, and in this way this new molecule will be synthesized from DNA. By this time there was firm evidence for the postulated movement of RNA from the DNA containing nucleus to the ribosome containing cytoplasm of eukaryotic cells. So it was established that this mRNA is synthesized in the nucleus which contains DNA, and then this mRNA moves out into the cytoplasm which contains ribosomes. So here you can see this pink colored, this is nucleus and this is DNA molecule, and this is mRNA molecule synthesized from DNA, and after synthesis this mRNA comes out of the DNA through these pores or this one. after coming out to the cytoplasm, it attaches with the ribosome for the synthesis of proteins. So in this way, mRNA moves out of the nucleus. By briefly exposing cells to radioactively labeled precursors, then adding a large excess of unlabeled ribonucleotides, which is a pulse chase experiment, mRNA synthesized during a short time window was labeled. So first, labeled precursors or labeled ribonucleotides were added for a very short span, and then unlabeled ribonucleotides were added, and then it was checked where the labeled nucleotides are present. These studies showed that mRNA is synthesized in the nucleus. Within an hour, most of this RNA had left the nucleus and was observed in the cytoplasm.